Probably the worst cake salesperson ever. People from Vegas are nothing but hookers and druggies. It's like, why am I the bad guy for pointing out the obvious? Get out of here with your fake cake salesperson attitude. See, I got sucked into it too. I have no idea where I was going with that. I'm like, oh great, what is he gonna do, punch him in the face? There he goes. I'm gonna miss that guy. Good morning on this Thursday morning where it's 53 degrees at 7:30 a.m. Today is one of those transitional days where you're kind of reminded how quickly life passes by. So Brandon's currently on an airplane right now flying over Arizona at about 500 miles an hour. I dropped him off at the airport this morning. Definitely, it's always sad to see him go. Sad to see him go. We had a nice visit and we had some good memories to share. Him leaving just reminds me of just how fast everything goes, man. I say it all the time. It goes quick. Like we planned that Backstreet Boys concert together back in August. We planned out this visit in August, and he was here for quite a while, 5 weeks, and now he's on his way back. Everything just goes like that. Nothing you can do about it. There's Bolt. By the way, there's Bolt back there. Don't know what he's doing, but he looks like he's getting up to something. In the next few days, I've got JC Klein's birthday, and then my mom's coming back for a couple weeks, and then she's leaving. And then typical work stuff. I'm still working on this other business idea that I'm trying to squeeze in the cracks of everything else I'm doing. Always busy, but you gotta stop and smell the roses sometimes. I found myself sucked into that Nancy Guthrie case that's going on right now. I mean, hopefully things work out, but it's like, I don't want to talk about the details of it, but in a bigger picture, it seems like every few years I find there's a news story like this where I'm just all into, and this is one of them. Like every shred of information I can find, I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Reminds me back in the OJ trial. I remember somewhere on one of my computers, I actually have a chat in one of these old school chat rooms from 1994 or 5. Everybody talking about different theories on the OJ trial. I remember there was a whole big discussion about the ice cream left on the counter at Nicole's house. I don't remember if he played a role in the case, but at the time it seemed like a huge deal. But speaking of law enforcement and investigations, though, it reminds me, I actually had my brush with the FBI many years ago. Not me personally. I was a witness. I wasn't in trouble. But I have to say, in my brief encounter with the FBI back then, I wasn't that impressed, and let me tell you why. So my boss was in trouble at the time. He was doing some shady stuff, and I had no idea. I had my head down doing my job. So there were two things the FBI did that I found to be a bit unimpressive. Number one, they had apparently been casing my boss for a while in this business, and they showed up to our office thinking we had some secret underground gambling operation going on, which we didn't. We were gambling related. We did advertising for sports handicappers and things, but we weren't taking bets. We didn't have any kind of illegal bookmaking operation going on. How they thought that and how they botched that is beyond me. You showed up thinking there was going to be all this illegal activity going on. There wasn't. That was one strike against the FBI. Number two, the FBI, they created digital images of all the hard drives and the entire premises looking for information on customers and things like that. So after they did that, I opened up the cabinet where they kept all the floppy disks. This is 2001, so floppies were kind of on the way out, but they still existed. All of our customer data was stored on floppy disks because that was the old system we had. Those floppies had not been disturbed. The FBI imaged all the hard drives, never touched the floppies where all the valuable information was at. Really? They didn't open that cabinet and think, maybe there's something on those floppies we might need. Nope. They skipped it completely. I have no idea where I was going with that story, but I thought I'd bring it up. But I have been far too involved in this Guthrie case. I hope that they can still find her alive, but I don't know, man. We'll see. But I will say I'm kind of all in on it, man. I've watched live streams of people driving around the area. I've gotten way too into it. There's something funny about it. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not going to make any accusations because I don't know. But the fact that I don't know drives me crazy. But I'm going to try not to watch any of that coverage today because I have some work to finish up. I'm finishing up update 63. I think I know what I'm going to review after that, Next week, I've got some work to do for my other business, which is just, it's happening, but it's kind of going slow. A lot to do. And you know what happens? You get involved with work, you snap your fingers, and days or weeks have passed by. It goes quick. You've got to always make time to stop and smell the roses, because if you don't, it's all going to pass you by. I'm going to keep harping that point as much as I can, because that's the only thing that really matters. All we have is right now. And what you do right now is all you have and all you can do. Try to make as many good nows as you can, because you don't know how many nows you have left. And right now, I'm going inside. 2 p.m. check-in, where it's currently 65 degrees and glorious outside. I finished update 63, which is rendering right now. Brandon is on his second flight from Philly to Maine, so all seems to be going well so far today. Speaking of Philadelphia, I'm kind of reminded of a hockey story. One time I was at a Golden Knights game and they were playing the Flyers. Now, Philadelphia fans in hockey, there's some rough fans, man. They were some rough fans. So there's a row of people sitting behind us. They're all Flyers fans. We're obviously Golden Knights fans. And there's one dude in there that he's popping off the whole time. And not only is he ragging on the Golden Knights, he's ragging on people from Vegas. People from Vegas are nothing but hookers and druggies. And we're looking at each other like, what? Not from our experience. So most people around me were ignoring him. I think most of them wanted to punch him in the face, but nobody was saying anything. So I'm with my friend and he leans over and says, I'm gonna shut this guy up, watch. I'm like, oh great, what is he gonna do, punch him in the face? So he turns around and he says something complimentary towards the team. He's like, you know, you guys got a great goalie. That was a great trade that you guys made last year. The guy's whole demeanor changed. As soon as my friend said something good about the Flyers, they were like old friends. They were talking about the Philadelphia sports, history of the team. I mean, he still cheered for the team, but he wasn't so personal with his attacks after that. But what's also funny is that the Flyers started losing. He started heckling his own team. That's how tough Philadelphia Flyers fans are. He was heckling the Flyers in the last few minutes of the game. You know, sometimes it's best not to get sucked into confrontation and just, you know, maybe look for some common ground. My friend started talking to him as a fan of hockey, not as a fan of the Golden Knights, and you know, it seemed to kind of win him over a little bit. That may not always work, but it did in that situation. I'm not sure that technique would really work when discussing politics. You're better off not discussing politics. I just wish we get to a point where people stop talking about politics in general, including me right now. See, I got sucked into it too. I wonder what you guys do in this scenario. Say someone shares with you a video that you clearly know is AI and they think it's real. Do you A, tell them it's AI and somehow look like the bad guy, or B, pretend like you think it's real as well to let them just continue the fantasy? I tend to tell people it's AI, and for some reason I feel guilty for it. It's like, why am I the bad guy for pointing out the obvious? By the way, did I mention yet that there's Bailey right there? If not, there's Bailey right there. Just as a warning, you're not gonna like this cake.
I am gonna like it.
It's currently 4 p.m. and 69 degrees outside. I'm not complaining. So I was at the bakery just a minute ago at the grocery store looking for a cake. And the woman there was probably the worst cake salesperson ever. So we're at the counter and we're looking at this one cake and she's like, oh, I don't know about that one. It's hard to cut. It's just a big mess. Well, she was literally trying to talk us out of buying this cake. And it was one of the most expensive cakes there. So then we finally said, well, have you had this cake before? She's like, no, I haven't eaten any of these cakes. I don't eat sugar. I'm like, wait a second. You're selling these cakes. You're trying to talk us out of one, and you haven't even tasted them yet. Get out of here with your fake cake salesperson attitude. So guess what? We bought the cake we wanted, and we tasted it. It was delicious. I don't know what she was talking about. And it wasn't hard to cut either. Maybe she wanted it for herself. Maybe she was trying to like downplay it so she would get it. It's cake collusion around here. I've been playing with a new green screen. Check this one out. Well, the reason I haven't got a green screen in the past, it has those rails that just takes a lot of space, but check the one I got out now. No rails. It just goes up to whatever level you put it. Isn't that cool? Don't mind my wires, but there it is. You just pull it up, it just stays up by itself. So now if I want a green screen, which I do want to do at some point, I'll have this. I haven't really worked with much green screen before, but it's time for me to join the 1960s with my green screen, so I'll catch up at some point. I kind of like it though. Well, that's about it for this day. This was kind kind of an interesting day. My transitional day has come to an end. You know what's weird though? This has been a weird week for me, not just today. The whole week has been. Because all I had to work on was an update video, which is not a lot of work for me. It's a little bit of filming, decent amount of editing, but it's not a lot of work. And the workaholic side of me is telling me I should do more work than that. But the other side of me is telling me I need to stop and smell the roses, so I'm not gonna work. So there's been this constant battle with my workaholic side and my side knowing I need to take a little bit more time for myself. It's definitely an adjustment, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. And even though that workaholic side of me keeps hounding me, I'm not letting him win this time. I've read accounts from hospice nurses who have interviewed people in the later stages of life, and usually the thing they always say that their biggest regret is they work too much. I ain't exactly a spring chicken. I don't have as many years ahead of me as most of you guys do. So I gotta start slowing down now before it's too late. So I don't want to be one of those people that express those regrets later on in life. So workaholic side for me, get out of here. But for me, I'm gonna end this day on a nice relaxing note while I edit the rest of this video. I hope you're having a great day whenever and wherever you're watching this from. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.